Hey,
Hello. Let's practice some few sentences again. Okay. So this in this call, the older sentence is just a if sentence. Do you got it?
what kind of sentences are we practicing?
I'm gonna s- tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna having some conversation with you to few using some few sentence that I have to practice. Okay. Anyway, let's go. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Today,
Okay, I'm ready to listen. Go ahead and say the sentence. All right, what's next?
today morning, I was so hungry. But I wake up late, so there's no anything that I can eat without some cook. Yeah, all the food I have to cook it, all of them, and it takes some many times, so I can't add those things. So I didn't know all what is in my home. Yeah, of all the things of food. So I just asked to my mom, there is anything I can add very simply? May I have something to eat that I can have that very simply? And my mom just saying like, yeah, can't you remember? We bought some donuts yesterday, and it is still in the kitchen now. You can have you can have it.
Sorry to
And
hear that you were struggling to find something to eat. What did you end up eating? Ah, looks like your hunger problem is solved.
yeah, and I found some donuts. But I just feel a little confusing about that. This donut is so sweet. So is it okay having some these donuts for the breakfast? I think it isn't too good to my body. It's not too good to my body. Yeah. So few times I just wondering or guessing about that, and I just had that because it's too hungry I was at the time.
Why would eating donuts feel confusing? Are you thinking about the calories or something? Your health shouldn't suffer because of being hungry. Maybe we should get something healthy next time.
Yeah, I think I have to having some more healthy things in next time. Yeah, so I think I have to wake up wake up some more early times. Yeah. So my mom and my me having some donuts in the breakfast. Yeah. And there are so many kinds of donuts. Yeah, something have some chocolate cream and some has just a cream and something have some chew cream or something have nuts cream. Something has just a glazing and something has some chocolate on the top. So, I was wondering about the old flavor. So I just asking to her like, can I have a bite? Is it okay if I have a bite? Or is it okay if I have one this thing? And she's just saying like, yeah, 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 yeah. She just answering all the things for just a yes.
What's your mother's name? Your mom seems really busy right now.
So anyway, we had some donuts in the breakfast, and it was kind of delicious. But I think it's not good for our healthy. Okay, then let's go to another sentence. Uh, may I have something cold to drink? No. May I have something warm to drink? I think my neck is little hurt.
What's the next sentence you want to practice? Is your neck hurting?
Yeah, I feel about that. Hmm. Oh, so could I have a glass of water? I think more warm is good.
Hopefully it's just a temporary issue, okay? Sure, I'll get you a glass of warm water.
Oh, thank you. Finally. Oh, okay. Then let's go to another sentence. Hmm. A few times when I organize my eyebrow, yeah, I really need to something to see, like mirror. So usually I went to the bathroom in my house because they have some big mirror. But sometimes when I'm in the outside, when I'm organize my eyebrow in the outside, then I need some mirror, small mirror, like hand mirror. But
That's nice of you to offer. Did you forget where you put the mirror?
I don't usually bring some mirror in my bag. So sometimes in that time I ask to my friends like, can I get something to see? Do you have any mirror that I can see? And usually my friend says, yeah, I have that. Okay, wait a second, please. And she just found some mirror in from her bag, and I can organize my eyebrow. Yeah, finally. I think
That
I have.
sounds like a common problem.
Okay, then let's go to another situation. Hmm. Mm. Yeah. Today we had some chicken. Uh, actually, I had some chicken with my family without my mom because she said like I already had some a lot of meals already in today, so I don't want to eat anymore in today. So we're just saying like okay, then my brother and me and my dad only have some dinner meal. But that chicken was so wild for me. No, so uh mild for me. I think that.
That
So
sounds like a nice family dinner. What do you mean by wild chicken? Was it spicy or something?
no, it was mild. I think I mistake that. Okay, so I thought, I need some pepper or some salt. So I just asked to my brother like, will you pass me the salt, please? The salt is most near by you, and he passed the salt for me. So I put some salt on the chicken, and it was good taste.
Why did you need salt or pepper though? Glad you liked it.
Okay, then let's go to another situation. Oh, oh, oh my God! I can't find my phone. I must have lost it. I think. I usually lost my phone. I have to remember that my memory. I must have seen that somewhere.
What's the next
Uh,
situation you'd like to talk about? Don't worry, we'll find your phone together.
where was it? I can't remember. Do you remember? Where was it?
Maybe we can walk around the house again and look for it, okay? Let's think about it together. Did we have dinner near the TV last night?
Yeah, but it just last night. I forgot my phone. I think a little minute before. Okay, I have to ask my dad to. Can you call my phone?
It's
Uh,
okay. Accidents happen. Maybe you left it at the dining table? Yeah, I can track all in your phone for you.
okay. Oh. Ah. Oh, I think it's maybe in the living room. Okay, I'll check it. Oh, I found it. Oh my gosh. I uh I have to care about this. I usually lost my phone.
I'm glad you found it.
Okay. Mhm. and let's go to another situation. Mm, do you remember I lent some bead for my friend Ahyeon?
Ah, yes, Yen's beads. Didn't you give those to him?
Yeah, I usually lent a lot of things for her, and she doesn't remember well about that. So I usually say to her like, "Don't forget to bring it tomorrow, please, please." And always she forgot that things. Oh my gosh. So I usually mad about that.
That can be frustrating, but maybe you can remind her gently next time.
Yeah. Okay, then let's go to another sentence. Hmm. Uh, yeah. In today, we had some new friend in our major. Yeah.
Okay, what's next? How was your impression of the new friend?
He was moved from the another college. So I was so surprised because moved to our college. But when I thought about that, I just thinking like, oh, it can't be because our major and without some capital city in the old college, without some capital city, this college is most good environment to making something metal things.
What was it about the new friend that made you so surprised? That sounds really interesting. What kind of metal things were they known for making?
You know that my major is metal jewelry design, so we usually making something of from the metal, like maybe the jewelry. Usually, yeah. In these days, you usually make some brooch. Is it that? Is it right to pronounce? I don't know. Oh, anyway. So,
That
and
sounds cool. You guys are making some nice designs with metal, right? Your pronunciation is fine. Don't worry about it.
and he was from another country, and he introduced that for hours. But I can't hear that at the time because the class is so wide, but I sit very behind, so I can't hear well about that. So I was confusing. So why? Okay. uh, anyway, I asked to him like, "Are you from the States or Canada?" Because I can't hear that in the class well about that. I think it because I just sit or behind sit. So can you answer it? And he just saying like, "Yeah, I can do it. I'm from the Canada." Oh,
That makes
anyway,
sense now. Thanks for explaining.
anyway, so he was just a newbie in our major. So we're just asking to him like many things, like, "Is there anything I can do for you?" Because everyone was interesting about the that newbie. Because we just think like these all the things is very new for him, so he can confusing about that because we had a lot of experience about those things.
I think he was a bit overwhelmed, but it's normal when joining a new field or program.
Yeah. So his phone number was very famous in our major. Yeah. So when I ask my friend to, "Do you happen to know his phone number?" and everyone says like, "Yeah." And I think his personality type is very like big E in front of the MBTI. I think he likes very many for meeting some new peoples.
He's one of the most popular students. Huh. That's great. You're quite the social magnet.
Yeah, so we had some party about welcome some new friend. Yeah, my professor planned that. I was so surprised about that. So we had some party in the afternoon. So but one of my friend can't come there, came that because she had some class in the time. It was so sad happening. So she just asking to me to send some message like how many are there in the party? Ah, I really want to there, but I have to take care of my score about this class. Okay, see you later. And yeah, it was very sad happening. So I just sent to message her like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, if your class finish very fast, then you can come in our party. I think this party will be very uh a long time more.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat, please?
Oh, you can do it. Okay, then let's go. Just go to another sentence. Okay. And you know Emily, my friend in my major. We had some project about to um, having some presentation in our major. Yeah, the all students was in my major. Uh, that was
Yes,
just
I'm familiar with Emily. Isn't she a coworker of yours too? What's the presentation about?
we just have to presentation about some new design of from the of kind some kind of subject, and that subject was the music, and our professor chose some music for ours and give some music, and maybe our song was the Pink Poloid. Yeah, I can't remember that song's name well, but that musician's name was Pink Poloid.
That sounds interesting. What kind of music did you guys choose for the presentation? I think that's probably okay. You can look up the song later if you need to, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so we just had some presentation project. So we have to having some conversation about that, to asking some how to design some or same subject. Like we had some same subject making some designs. So we just thinking like we just having we just had we should have two conversation about that. So we planned about some meeting, but one student said I had some class in the time. Oh, so we just very wondering about that. I just really are wondering about that. She came to our meeting today. So today was the D day. So I just asking to my teammate like, is she coming to our meeting this afternoon? And she said like, oh, I don't know. Well, I think we should have to send some message to her like asking those things. So we just having some conversation in this afternoon, and she came there, and she's just saying like, oh, luckily my professor ended the class very fastly, so I came here. Woo! Then we had some project. Yeah,
Maybe you guys can plan for another time then? That's great your teammate showed up.
we already finished that work. Yeah, we already had some presentation, having some presentation. So, and when we all done about that, and we just ask to each other like, are you satisfied with the result? Are you satisfied with the result? And we just saying, all the teammates says like, yeah, I really like that. Yeah, and we got some A plus about that class. Woo!
That's awesome. Everyone was satisfied and you guys got an A+.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's great to hear.
Actually, I really like some player, yeah, soccer player, and his name is Puck. And he had some soccer game last yesterday. Oh, did you happen to watch the game on TV last night? I think you can have some information about that.
That's cool. Which soccer player do you like?
Uh, his name is Park Ji-sung.
Who is it?
Oh, it can be a little hard to you because it's Korean name. Oh, okay. Then let's go to another situation.
Are you thinking of a specific Korean soccer player, then? Alright, go ahead.
Do you know that the most trying to introduce their I friend for another I friend? Yeah. Yeah, usually my friend doing that too. But when we heard about that and when we met other each other, then we just thinking like, oh, it means like kill you have to kill each other. Yeah. Sometimes we feeling like so surprised about those things. So most I are thinking about those situation like that E was so rude. But when I say this opinion to my E friend, and usually they're very surprised and they just say like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know that."
You're talking about introducing friends to each other and the potential competition that comes with it. That sounds like a confusing situation. Did your friend clarify what they meant by kill each other?
I think she was so surprised about that. Yeah, because they just like to having some many friends, and they just thinking like, this girl is I, and this girl have some MBTI with the I too. So I think they can be a good friend. I think their opinion was like these things, but it is so rude to eyes eye peoples. Yeah.
Sorry, could you clarify what happened between your friend and the other girl? It sounds like there was some kind of misunderstanding. Are you okay, Ensign?
Yeah, I'm okay. So, when I usually heard like when I heard the sentence like I'd like to introduce you to my friend, then I just little uh having some nervous about that because I can't I can't say to no about that when I'm not too friendly with that friend because it can be looks like rude person. I don't want to be a rude person.
So you were nervous about introducing me to your friend because we weren't familiar with each other yet. That
Yeah.
makes sense. You didn't want to come across as impolite.
Okay. Mm. Hmm. Ah.
What's next? Everything okay?
Yeah. Um. Today in my workplace, there was some big, yeah, important customer was came to our workplace. So I introduced him to my workplace, and I just introduced him to my boss John because he wanted. So I just saying like I'd like you to meet my boss John because he liked that, and I think it's important to you too. Because I think you have to having some conversation with my boss to choosing something. So I they met at in today, and they just saying like, it's nice meeting you. Yeah, I've heard a lot about you. It's nice meeting you. I've heard a lot about you. It's my pleasure to meet you. Yeah, it seems like very friendly, but I don't know well about that because yeah, I'm not
That's
was
great.
in that
I'm glad you made the
situation.
introduction and things went smoothly. How did the customer seem to react? So they seemed friendly, but you didn't quite know what to make of them yet?
Maybe okay. Mm,
Is
and
everything okay? Did John handle the customer well then?
let's go another situation. Sometimes when I met some foreign persons and when they have if they have some very long last name, then I can't remember that well because I don't have any good memories to memorize something from the people's. So I didn't know yet about my parents' birthday. Yeah, so I can't remember the new person's last name when if is very long. Like I can explain about this. When I was in the kindergarten, I had some Japan friend, and I remember that her name is Airi, but I didn't know her. I can't remember well about her last name, and I remember her last name was very long. Yeah, it was very long. I remember, so I can't remember well. Yeah.
Oh, that can be frustrating when you meet new people and struggle to remember names. Do you usually ask people to repeat themselves to help clarify? That's understandable. Long names can be hard to remember. Did your Japan friend ever introduce herself again in class, or was it just a brief encounter?
Yeah, he just introduced herself in the class, and I asked to her too because I usually uh can't remember about that long last name. But I can remember still. Yeah, I think I'm very confusing about that name at the time. Okay, let's go another sentence. Yeah. So when I met some Oregon persons, then I usually asking like, how do you spell your last name? I can't know well about that. Then most people answered me very kindly, like uh, uh, Pean or like Tommy, like those things. Like kind of these. Okay,
Don't
let's
worry, it happens when you're still young. It's normal to forget names, especially if they're complicated. That's a clever way to deal with not remembering last names. People are generally understanding and willing to help with pronouncing or spelling their name.
and I like to asking the names means because they have so many means about their name and it's almost the good mean. So it's kind of funny to knowing about that or mean. So I usually asking like, what do you mean by that? Like your last name? Is it have some mean like bride or something? For example, my name is An Songbin, and An means comfortable, and Song means to um to make things, to make some things, and Bin means bright, brightly, brightly, brightening. Yeah, like those things. Yeah. Usually I just asking like this.
Your name is really interesting. It sounds like it has a special meaning behind it. I'd love to learn more about how you chose your nickname, Antonin. It's nice that you're
Okay.
interested in the meanings behind names. Does your mother have a meaningful name as well?
I don't know. Okay. Then let's go to another sentence. Um. Hmm.
Hi back.
Always, I can't remember about the phone number. Well, yeah, usually in these days we don't have to remember about the phone numbers because our phone remember that well. So we don't need to have to memorize it. But when I
I'm
was
ready when
young,
you are. Yeah, it's true. With phones having automatic saved contacts, we don't need to remember numbers as much anymore.
yeah, but when I was young, we didn't have some smartphones. Yeah, so we need to memorize each other's phone number. Yeah. So we still know about our parents' number well about that. Yeah, when I was young, I was remember about my house phone number too. Ah, it was very childhood memory. It is very childhood memory. Okay, so when I was young, to saying like "May I ask your phone number" is very common saying. Yeah, because when we meet some new friend and to having some phone number was very friendly things, and when we met some advisor at the company and to having their number is very common things at the time. But I don't know in these days. I remember that it, this is just still using for flirting to someone in these days.
You had to memorize phone numbers back then. How did people usually manage to remember all those digits? That's a nostalgic memory about your childhood and house phone number.
Yeah. Mm. Uh. Yeah. Oh, do you remember the collecting call? Yeah, when I was in the elementary school, I usually used that because I didn't have some phone, but I have to call to my mom because my elementary school was far away from my home. So always my mom should to carry me and my brother to came here by her car. So we have to call her to like, we are finishing our class. Our class is finished. Yeah. So we usually use some collecting coal, but you have to pay that about that. That coal have to pay to use it.
What
So
happened?
uh so in that time when we having some collecting coal, then we usually saying like, "May I ask who's calling?" And I usually answered that about like, "Me, my mom, me, Songbin." Me! It is me! Not to cut off this coal, please! Because when we using some collecting coal for a long time, it costs very expensive. So usually when we having some collecting coal, we just turn down.
That sounds frustrating, especially having to pay for collect calls. Did it happen frequently? Sorry to hear that you had to deal with expensive collect calls and being cut off unexpectedly.
Anyway, that memory is funny memory to me. Okay, then let's go to another situation. Hmm.
What were you thinking about earlier? Sounds fun. What's next?
When I was in my high school, yeah, we already knew each other well, almost because we was living in the same country and we already graduate the same middle school almost. So we already know about each other well. Almost, maybe.
What were
So
you doing?
we just when we having some new semester, then we just met some new persons, and we just asking like, "Do you know him? Do you know her? Do you know her?" And when we doesn't knew about her like very friendly, then I just saying like, she is one of my acquaintances. It just
That's how you met new people back then. It sounds like it was